repair shop today. It's Hello Dolly for the Bear Ladies and Steve as they revamp a rare 60s toy who's lost her voice.
Back to the drawing board. That hasn't worked at all.
And Master Hatter Jayesh lifts the lid on some trade secrets.
So the hat stretcher is Hatter's best friend.
As he rescues a wartime relic that's seen better days.
That's done the job.
But the barn's first arrival is Janice Turton, accompanied by daughter Neve. With an heirloom she's loved since childhood. She's hoping Silversmith Brenton West can restore its charm.
Hello.
Hello.
You all right?
Good, thank you.
Good. So, what have we got in the box?
A musical salt and pepper pot.
Now that is gorgeous. Yeah. Please, tell us about it.
OK, so this comes from Hong Kong. Back in 1955, my dad was posted to Hong Kong with the army.
Yeah.
And my mother decided to go with him.
What's your dad's name?
Jack.
Jack. And her mum's name?
Dorothy, but we all called her Dolly. They were there for 15 months, just about. It was a massive decision for them.
Yeah.
It was probably more the emotional thing that was hard for Mum, the leaving her mum behind and her own siblings. Couldn't fly, had to go on the boat, which took about 3 weeks.
Ooh.
But the thought of being apart for almost 2 years was too much. She'd never been abroad before, so it was the big decision for them to make. But that's what love does for you.
That's what love does, isn't it? Yeah.
And this was a present that she sent back from my nan, so her mother.
Her mum. Wow.
And I can always remember this being on the sideboard in my nan's house, and I've got images of myself laying on the floor playing with this as a toy.
Right.
And it was something I always loved, and it was always there, and she never said, no, you can't play with it. So when my nan died in 1979, I was allowed to keep this.
Neve, have you played with this then?
Yeah, it's been a mum's windowsill as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
I think you let me play with it because of the memories you had playing with it. I have no memories of Dolly at all. She passed away before I was born, so it is upsetting that I didn't get to know her at all. So this is very special to me in that sense, because I get to know her through this.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to start you off, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, bless. What I don't get, though, you see salt and pepper, why do they have a little man there?
That's how you wind it up.
Ah.
You twist the man.
Ah.
You wind...
There it goes. OK.
You wind him up.
That's the wind up.
Really good, isn't it?
That is proper smart. So what did it look like then? Was it shiny?
Yeah, there was handles on both sides.
Oh, it's on both sides?
Yeah, I played with it so much and dropped it so many times that it's broken off there on that side. And it was straight. They stood up straight, and the little man had a little face on it.
Well, it's certainly been well loved.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of work to do to it.
I think it's going to come up a real treat, hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Right. Thank you for bringing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks.
Take care now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It means so much to my family because it represents so much. It's really important, really important.
It's great for me to be able to feel part of something that I wasn't necessarily there for, but now with this music box, I can be a part of it.
Janice certainly has given me a task here. The salt and pepper cellars are made of pewter, are very fragile, very soft, and to straighten this is going to be a very risky thing to do, and this could easily break off. I also have to make some handles for them, which match the two handles we've got, which I've then got to solder onto here. Janice said there was a little face on here. I'm going to do some research and see if I can find out what that face is meant to look like. The first thing I do is I like to polish something just to see what I've got, and this is no exception. I know it's going to come up absolutely beautifully, but I've got an awful lot to do before the whole thing is lovely and shiny.
The barn's next visitor is Julie Vaughn from Windsor. She hopes mechanical expert Steve Fletcher can help resurrect a very special childhood friend.
Hello.
Hello.
Looks like you brought us lunch.
Yes.
What's in the bag?
It is a doll.
Oh, it used to be a doll.
I did love her.
Oh, my word.
When and how did you get this doll then?
It was Christmas 1968. I saw the advert on television and really wanted her.
One of those magical Christmases.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it probably was my best present. I don't think I could believe my eyes. It was like, she was a talking Barbie. I couldn't wait to hear her speak.
A talking doll?
Yes, which was very, very, very unusual in those days.
She must mean a lot to you, because you kept her for 50 years.
Yeah, my mother did say she was very expensive and special. And she was to me. And I made clothes for her at the time.
You made
on
clothes
my mum's
for her?
sewing machine, yes, and she helped me.
Right.
We didn't have the original clothes. I don't know what happened to them.
What was she wearing when she came out of the box then?
I think she was wearing shorts and
Okay.
a little top and really sort of high shoes.
You say she's a talking doll. What did she used to say?
Things like, I've got a date tonight. Which new dress shall I wear? Let's go shopping, I think.
Let's go shopping?
Yes.
Okay. I do like the sound
Yeah.
of it. When did she break then?
I think it must have been about a year later, so I was probably about 10 years old. When
A
she
year
finished
later?
it. Yeah. I was pulling her cord out and the end fell off.
OK.
Because I used to constantly just play it.
So it's been broken quite a long
For a long
time.
time, yeah.
Right.
How come she's in so many pieces?
My dad's a retired toolmaker, so he opened her up and realised there was a little record player inside and he couldn't put it back together again.
A record player inside the doll?
Yeah, these are the parts.
I can't believe there's a little record player inside there.
I know, I think that's what threw my father, actually. I think when he saw this stylus, that was what made him realise it was more difficult than he could probably cope with.
Right.
Since then, I've just loved this type of doll, so I have collected some since then. And my daughters have many of them, about 40.
Well, that's a lot of dolls, isn't it?
There's a lot.
Even nowadays, I still give them at Christmas.
OK.
I've kept the tradition going.
What's the future plans for this doll then?
Well, it certainly is to listen to her speak again, and I'd love my daughters, and my dad actually, to hear her dulcet tones.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can't wait to pull the cord out and hear again.
Steve, it's you, mate.
I've never done anything like this before, ever, so I don't know.
We'll leave it with us.
Thank you very much.
OK?
Thank you.
All right.
See you soon.
You take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The doll was a present for me when I was 9 years old. I'd love to have her talking again so that I can go back to when I was a child and enjoy her now as an over 60.
First manufactured in 1959, these famously leggy toys mimic the glamorous film stars and fashion elite of the day. This doll may be an example of the first talking version, but she's not spoken a word in decades.
What do you reckon of that then, Steve? I think you can have your hands full with that.
I hope it's all there.
You know what I'm a bit amazed by? All of that in the back of this doll.
I know.
I don't know how they got that in.
I've mended lots of dolls because I've got 4 daughters.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm used to doing that, but none of them have spoken. I'm worried about what sort of voice she'll have. If I get it wrong, she might speak like this.
No. So I'm going to see if Julie and Amanda will help me protect this lady's modesty.
That's a
and,
good idea.
Make her some clothes.
Yeah.
So you're going to be all right with that, yeah?
I've not a clue until I start putting it back together again and working it all out.
Yeah.
No idea whether it's going to work or not.
OK. That's yours.
This actually works like a mini record player. I'm just wondering whether Julie's dad put this hairband in there because it needs a drive belt to drive it. And I've just got to make sure that I get it back in the right order, otherwise it won't play. Work out if there are any parts missing and repair all the places that have been prized apart and broken. Right, that's in place on the bottom end, quite literally. I'm just going to pop that through the back there. Right. I don't believe that. It's actually making some sound. I can't make out exactly what she's saying. There's obviously a problem with the actual regulation of the mechanism. It's supposed to run quite quickly, but not too quick, to make exactly the right speaking sound. So, more investigation work.
On his workbench, Brenton's ready to start his restoration of the musical salt and pepper set, a cherished souvenir of 1950s Hong Kong. One of his tasks will be to get both wonky pots to stand upright again.
I'm a little bit perplexed by how I'm going to straighten these. Although it's bent quite easily when it was dropped, I'm not sure it's going to go back into shape so easily when I try and straighten it. It's not a matter of just grabbing them and doing this, because if I did that, this would just bend. Well,
hey, Brenton.
I've got to straighten this out. I need to put something into this and then pull it. So could you do a little turning job for me, please?
OK, how small?
This fits inside it.
Right.
So if you can make me a piece of wood that's that shape, but about that long.
Oh, I see. So that cup is slightly twisted. You need to straighten it.
It's not slightly twisted, it's very twisted.
Oh, gosh. I can do that.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
I have to make 2 handles for these salt and pepper pots, and I'm going to cast them in pewter. I'm going to use a high-temperature silicon mould, and I'm going to put the good handle into the silicon rubber. When it's set, I'm going to cut it out. Hopefully, I can pour some pewter in there and I'll have a copy of that handle. So I'm going to balance this in the pot and then pour the silicon in. You would have thought if you poured molten metal into something which is a synthetic rubber, that there would be smoke and flames and all sorts of mess, but it seems to work. So now all I've got to do is let this set, then I can start casting. That's come out quite nicely. The only way I know if it's worked properly is if I pour some pewter into it and see if I get a handle from it. Casting pewter can be quite tricky, and it's really, really easy to get air bubbles. A little tip, put some graphite in the mould. The graphite helps the pewter flow through the mould and you don't get air bubbles. So pewter is a mixture of tin and zinc, and it's liquid already. So I'm just going to pour some of this into the hole, and there it is. So I've just got to let this cool down, which will take a couple of seconds, and then I can see if it's worked or not. That looks like it's OK, so I'm going to give this a go. It's still hot, so I've got to be careful. There we go. That's one handle made. I've just got one more to do now.
Right. That has turned out pretty well. Lovely. Let's see if Brenton approves. So, Brenton.
Hi.
One steak for you.
Excellent. I'm going to see if it fits. Excellent.
Yeah?
So now I can try to straighten that without breaking it.
I wish you the best of luck with that.
I need it. This is the most daunting part of the job for me, and I'm a bit worried that I might just snap the top off. So I need to be really, really gentle. It needs a lot of pressure, to bend it straight. That looks really good now. Now I'm going to do the difficult one. And this one is the one that will probably snap on me. This is straightening terrifyingly easily. I think that's straight now.
Now salt and pepper are standing tall. Brenton can prepare for the next fiddly job, soldering on the handles.
Here it goes then. So what I'm trying to do is just try to get the whole thing to 100 degrees centigrade and no more. So if I get it any more, the whole thing will just melt. I can see the solder just trying to melt there. I just want it to draw into the joint. There it goes. And there it goes. Well, that wasn't meant to happen. I'm going to try balancing it again and giving that another go. The solder's still on there, I think. That's one done. That's really, really nerve-wracking, and it's making me sweat a bit.
As Brenton soldiers on with soldering, outside, a new arrival. Barbara Clark and her son Lee have brought along a Second World War military memento for the attention of master hatter Jayesh Vaghela, who makes and maintains headwear from the world's oldest hat shop.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Jay. And you are?
Hello, I'm Barbara.
Barbara.
Lee.
Lee.
I'm Jayesh.
Hi, James.
Hello.
So, we've got something in the bag.
We have.
Let's see what it is. Oh, wow. Now, that hat looks like it's seen a lot.
It has seen a lot. It belonged to my dad,
Right.
Ted Smith,
OK.
who was a Japanese prisoner of war, and he was captured.
He was captured, but he was a soldier.
Yeah. Singapore fell to the Japanese in 1942.
Right.
And from that point on, any British soldier was held in Changi prison. And then from there, from about early 1943, they were shipped north to work on the railway from Burma to Thailand, the so-called Death Railway. It carved through the jungle. The Japanese wanted the railway to support their troops that were for the war that was going on in Burma, so they decided to build this railway. That,
And use the prisoners as labour,
yes.
is what they did.
Conditions were appalling.
Yeah.
They used to starve them. In fact, they used to put rice, if they found rice, they put it in their shoes so they could eat it later. When they were all shipped home, Dad had gone through such a rough time, a terrible time, unrecognisable when he came home to his brother. He had a twitch and he had a limp and he was so thin. Through terrible circumstances in the prisoner of war camp.
Yeah. Did he ever speak about his experience then, or...?
No. He would never, ever speak about it. And unfortunately, my dad died at 59, and it wasn't until after that we realised what he'd been through, because he just would no way speak about it.
Did you ever meet him?
So he passed away when I was 5.
Right.
Granddad used to take him in the shed. He had an old pram and he made him a go-kart out of it, and he idolised Lee. It was a dream come true to have a grandson.
Yeah. Jess, have you ever seen a hat like this before?
No, nothing like this before. It's going to be quite an honour to work on this hat.
What would you like us to do, or Jess to do to this?
When we're handling it, it feels very frail, so we don't want it absolutely brand new in any way.
OK, right.
But we just want it in a state that we can handle it, talk about it, pass it on without fear of making it any worse.
OK.
For me, it represents the man that wore it.
Yeah.
Courage, determination, and character to get home and see his family. That's what it means to me.
Thank you both for bringing this in. It's powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You take care now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
My granddad, to me, was a hero. Quite honestly, it means so much to me, to be honest. It's very difficult to put into words. And having it restored is a fantastic way of paying tribute, I think.
How do you go about repairing something like this? Because to me, it looks quite messed up.
What I'm going to do initially is to heavily steam it, and that will refresh the felt.
Right.
Next step will be to reblock the crown.
Right.
And then reblock the brim, and then introduce a sweatband, and that will give the hat a structure.
What's blocking?
Blocking is the reshaping of both the crown and the brim.
And then what about the holes? Would you stitch them up?
So what I'm going to do is introduce the felt from inside of the crown,
yeah,
and do blind stitch. That will bring the split together.
Okay. Well, if you need any help, just let me know. I'm your man, yeah?
Thank you.
No problem.
So looking closely at the patches, the colors here indicate that this fabric must have been part of his uniform, which obviously him being resourceful made use of the fabric which was available to him at hand. Right, there's a lot of work to be done on this hat. So my first starting point will be my faithful steamer. So I'll get that going. By steaming it, it will sort of refresh the felt, which also help me shape the crown as well as the brim. So it doesn't really matter as to how you brush the felt. So literally you can brush it down, brush it up, brush it in a buffer style. It doesn't really matter because it won't affect the appearance of the felt. Using the steamer, it serves a double purpose. And not only I'm steaming the hat, making the hat look good, at the same time, I'm getting a facial.
Still in pieces on Steve's bench, the talking doll who's stuck for words. But the miniature record player that powers her voice is about to get a new lease of life.
I've managed to get hold of a drive belt from a cassette player, which fits nicely into this. That's the drive belt round. Back to the drawing board. That hasn't worked at all. There's something else that I'm missing here. So I've got to take it apart again and have another look.
While Steve has a rethink, the task of recreating the doll's original 60s outfit has fallen to experts in miniature seamstressing, Julie and Amanda.
Perhaps you could do her little shorts.
Yes.
/ pants. And I'll do her top.
Yep. When I was doing the research, the picture that I saw has that ribbed effect that goes this way.
Yeah.
Are you going to put the ruffle around the bottom?
I will try to get her as close to what she would have been when she came out the box.
Perfect.
Did you have a Barbie?
I did, yeah. Then my Barbie was usually dressed and sat on the shelf looking glamorous, but not really played with that much.
Did she have lots of clothes?
I remember a pair of knee-length boots. That sort
Kinky
of
boots.
Kinky boots, that's it, yes.
Come on, we've got to get on.
OK.
I've been really struggling with the mechanism, and I found that there is a part missing, a missing cam, and it's quite an important part. The little record player inside this mechanism has the little disc, and this cam will determine which groove the stylus will hit and will determine then what she's going to say out of the 6 different phrases that she says. This cam is 6-sided. I've made a rough drawing of it. I'm going to have a go at making it, and it's a bit of a stab in the dark, but I hope it's going to work. On my lathe, I've got this dividing plate so that I can turn the actual piece of work at different angles, and I'll file a new side on it. So basically, that goes there. I'm hoping and praying that this is going to be right and this is going to work. I think if it doesn't work this time, I might just go for a long walk. This really is the moment of truth. Oh, thank goodness. It's actually working. Whoa. Let's do some shopping. She's actually talking. This is amazing. Fantastic.
Brenton's work in metallic miniature is almost done. The pewter salt and pepper pot's now restored. He's got one last tiny but not insignificant task.
I've got a reference picture I'm going to use for painting the gentleman who is on top of the salt and pepper music box. So I'm going to try and get a little bit of character into the face. I think I'm going to be able to make something that Janice will recognise. When she sees this, I want her to go, that's my little fellow who winds up the music box. I don't want her to throw her arms up in despair and go, what have you done to it?
A gift from Janice's mum to her grandmother after a spell in Hong Kong, this charming novelty became out of shape, broken and forlorn. Janice and Niamh have returned to reclaim the heirloom they've both loved since childhood.
I'm sure Brenton's done a fantastic job. This is something that's very precious to me, so I just can't wait to see it.
How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Sure? You look a bit nervous.
Really a bit nervous, excited.
Yeah.
It's a very special thing. It means a great deal to me.
Yeah.
From my dad to my mum to my nan, lots of things. 3 generations so far and going on to the 4th.
Well, you want it back then, don't you?
Yes, please.
Brenton?
OK.
Look at these little things. Oh my God, that is amazing. Thank you so much. How shiny it is. That's incredible. Can I pick it up?
Yeah, of course.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Is that how you remembered it?
It is, yeah, very much so.
Does it take you back?
It does. I can't thank you enough. It is. It's amazing how much an object like that can invoke such feeling. It is exactly as I remember it. Thank you so much.
I know what it means to you, and I wanted it to remind you of how it was.
I think it's amazing for me because I've never seen it like this. To be able to see it kind of as it probably was when it was bought, with then the hope that I can show it to my kids one day is brilliant.
Well, let's get this packed up.
OK.
No problem.
Well, thank you, Brenton. Thank
Pleasure.
you so much.
Look after it.
I will.
We will this time.
Something to treasure now.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you,
care.
Brenton.
Bye-bye.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
I mean, it just transported me back. Memories of my nan, of my mum. In my mind's eye, that's exactly how it looked all those years ago. And to have somebody to pass that to, it means a massive amount. It's stopped being mine now, I think, and it is now ours. Yeah.
Master hatter Jayesh is using a traditional technique to reshape the crushed and crumpled soldier's hat that survived the rigours of the Burma Railway during World War II. He uses steam to make the felt pliable and reshapes the hat around a wooden block.
What I use here is a hat stretcher. The hat stretcher is hatter's best friend. It's been around since hatting began. I have a feel in terms of how much twist I need to get the stretch I require for the hat. That's done the job. So to steam the hat and then placing it on the stretcher has given the crown the shape that it requires. And subsequently what I'm going to do is start working on this break here. I'm going to introduce a single piece of felt inside the crown, which will act as a support to the actual body of the hat. And then I'm going to introduce a blind stitching, which will hold the split together. The split in the felt is quite extended, so starting point is quite tricky. So I have to get this right, and once I've introduced few stitches into the repair, it gets easier. So perseverance is very, very important. I come across this sort of problem all the time, and I've done quite a few of this kind of repairs. And it is very, very time-consuming. But it is very important that I get this consistent. Coming up to my large stitch, and that completes the mend. And the next step would be to start working on the brim. And for that, I will need a brim block. So to flatten the creases which are present in the brim, I'm going to use a wet tea towel and my handy iron, which are a hatter's trade secret. And the whole process is literally like ironing your clothes. And I'm getting shape of the brim, as you can see. And I'm doing that very gradually, purely because the age of the hat, the felt has become slightly stubborn. So by the time I finish blocking the brim, the hat should almost look like its original shape.
On Julie and Amanda's bench, with her tailor-made retro outfit nearly finished, the talking doll is about to look her fashionable self again.
It's making me smile because I'm not sure I've ever done this before. I think if you said to me, what colours would she have been wearing in the 60s, I think I would have gone with this pink and maybe a bright orange. And I know that keeps Amanda happy anyway, so. Amanda?
Yes.
I finished her clothes.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and then put the little sort of bottom frill on the skirt.
Okay, thank you. Because she is still quite frail and we're quite nervous of her. Steve's quite nervous that we're going to do her sort of some damage. So we will make sure that she's stitched in rather than forcing her into her clothes. I'm actually really enjoying myself here. There's a bit of a pink theme, I think, at the moment going on with Barbie and myself. Really hope after all this, Steve's actually going to let us hear her speak. Just one little sentence would be lovely.
Once the favourite Christmas present of 1968, this faded fashionista was due a makeover. Julie, along with daughters Daisy and Scarlett, are all eager to hear her signature phrases once again.
It's wonderful to have the girls with me today to experience this because they have been wanting to see her as a complete doll. So I'm so excited.
How you doing, Julie?
Hello, Julie.
Hello.
So these are your daughters?
Yes, Daisy and Scarlett.
And from what I understand, you're fans of this type of doll as well, then?
Big fans when we were growing up.
Right.
We used to play all the time.
So how many have you got? Have you got loads, or...?
Maybe 100. You'd know.
100.
100?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, my word.
We're very lucky girls.
You must have spent your lives just dressing them and playing with them all the time.
Yeah. We kept all the shoes and everything.
Okay.
All the outfits.
Unlike Mum.
Yes. No clothes.
Naked Barbie. No boots, no clothes, no nothing.
Full tobacco.
Right, OK, would you like to have a look and see what we've been able to do?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, she looks amazing. Oh, she's absolutely beautiful. It's the perfect pink.
The outfit is due to our teddy bear ladies, just there.
Wow, thank you so much.
Pick her up.
I'm a bit nervous. I'm really nervous doing this.
Do a lot of shopping.
Oh my gosh, it's so weird hearing her again.
How's that feeling, Julie, pulling that?
It's absolutely taking me straight back to when I was a little girl.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you can see it as well. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for bringing her in and setting a challenge to Steve. I love seeing him sweat. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
You take care now, all three of you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
As soon as I heard her voice, it was amazing. It just took me straight back to Christmas morning when I opened the box. Really happy memories. It was really amazing. I really can't believe it. It's really lovely.
Master Hatter Jayesh has been tested by the nearly 80-year-old soldier's hat. Reshaped and repaired, he must now give it lasting structure.
My next step would be to prepare a sweatband. What I'm going to use is canvas, which is a sturdy fabric. Once it's all made up and stitched inside the crown, that will give the support this hat needs. The very thing I enjoy doing this job, working with hats, but each and every hat has a character. Each piece you work on, you pick up a technique, the way that particular hat was made. It's amazing. So what I'm going to do now is just carry on working all the way to the end, and that will finish the sweatband.
Back to collect the Momental Lee, whose grandfather wore this hat to protect against the searing Far East heat as he laboured as a prisoner of war during World War II.
My granddad is always in my thoughts. He's an inspiration to me, so I'm hoping that it can be a tribute to him rather than something that's decaying and falling away. So, yeah, we want to be able to keep it for a long time.
Hey, Dilly.
Hello.
You all right?
Jayesh.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
How are you feeling?
All kinds of emotions going on at the moment, from nerves, excitement, and everything in between. Means a lot to me, this hat does, so yeah.
See that. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm shaking. That's amazing.
Thank you.
When I'm holding it, it doesn't feel as if it's going to fall apart. It's strong now. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's amazing.
How does it feel holding your grandfather's hat?
It sends a bit of a tingle through me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
A good tingle, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, electricity running through me almost. Yeah. It's a proper tribute to a great man.
When I started working on the hat, it became like a journey for me, and it speaks a lot about the owner as well. I assume he was a left-handed gentleman.
Yes.
Very natural way to handle the hat would be to pinch the crown from here, and where the thumb goes, there's a tremendous pressure. And you can see the wear is very evident on this side where the repair has taken place.
Yeah, it's little nuggets like that.
Yeah.
That keep coming together for me, that piece together the character of the man more and more. So yeah, it is tremendous, and thank you very much.
No, thank you for bringing it in.
I have a small gift for you, Lee.
Oh, wow.
I know it came in a carrier bag.
Yes. Yeah.
But now, this hat deserves a better home.
Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
You happy?
Yeah, more than happy. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Take care. Well done, man. Well done.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Now the hat is restored, it is definitely a symbol of the man that used to wear it. It fully represents my granddad, Ted. Now it's a strong hat that matches the character of the man. It definitely makes me feel a lot closer to him.